Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of The Pickleball Crew. We are a group of pickleball fanatics based in southeast Louisiana and are passionate about all things pickleball everywhere. Our focus is to inform, acknowledge those who help build the game regionally, and promote tournaments in our area. We do our best to present this with a love of the sport, a sense of humor, and a lot of fun. So join Vicki Wynn, Ken Wynn, Jeff Fuchsia, and me, Bud Klein, in our latest episode. We are glad you are along for the ride. The crew opens this episode with a preview of the newly opened Stacks Pickleball facility in Baton Rouge. Jeff has another one of his insightful Burrs Under My Saddle, and Vicki will share a shout out with Bud jumping in with one of his own. Ken will wind us up with his previews of local and regional tournaments. All right, welcome to podcast number 32 of the Pickleball Crew. This week we're going to talk about the crew's visit to a new facility in Baton Rouge called Stacks. And Ken's going to lead us off with that discussion.
Hey, Bud, thanks. Yeah, a couple of months ago, we started hearing about this new indoor facility that was opening in Baton Rouge called Stacks Pickleball. And we started seeing some pictures being posted of people playing there. We heard that it was one of the old sound stages that was not being used. Right off of I-12 at Airline, where Airline Highway crosses I-12. And we contacted the owners through the website. It was Bevo and Josh Wynn, no relationship to Ken Wynn. And we said, hey, guys, we'd love to come by and just take a tour of the place, interview you guys, hear more about it. And so they were gracious enough to extend an invitation to us. So Vicki, Jeff, and I took a Thursday evening, got there about 5 o'clock. They were going to open for 6 p.m. for an event that was going to go on for the rest of the evening. So he asked us to come a little early and give us a tour of the place. And I tell you what, for an indoor facility, this is at least building wise a perfect place for pickleball. And why don't we just kind of quickly go around the table and share our impressions of what we thought that we really were impressed with or liked about it. Vicki, you want to start us off?
First and foremost was after talking to them, and everybody will get to see their mission and their goals. When you talk to them, it was just really, really nice to hear how much they were about the pickleball community and how much of a need there was for a facility like that in Baton Rouge. And they were basically on the hunt trying to find a place because they just knew that there was such a need for something like that. And they weren't going to just sit back and wait for somebody else to do it. They really wanted to dive in, find a place, and do it themselves. The other thing is like that hit me as really impressive was how they set up the courts. And once again, everybody will see what they did and how they set it up. He didn't just put the courts side by side all the way from front to back. He had an idea of how he wanted these courts to be set up, how he wanted them to move. So probably one of the most impressive things to me was that once a game finished, the court to the right knew that they needed to slide over and make room for more people to come in and play. And so there was this little system in place to move through the courts. And I was really impressed with that. And my other thing that I was like really impressed with, because I don't do very well in indoor facilities. Everybody that knows me knows sound and lights and everything can have an effect on me. But with it being an old sound stage, it was soundproof. And one of the things that he made sure to tell us was that you're going to be able to have a conversation, even though there's 12 courts that are all playing pickleball, or it was close. It might have been 10 courts playing pickleball that evening. And he was right. We were able to have conversations. There was no screaming to call out the score or talk over each other. I was just really, really impressed with that. So they've done a great job. And I know that they have so many more goals that they're working towards, but they're off to a really good start. I was really impressed. Jeff?
Yeah, yes, and the soundproofing is black. So the ball shows up against the walls back in there just really, really well. You can see the ball really good. The lighting is real good. I would suggest to anybody that goes and plays there to wear a cap. The lighting is so
Mm-hmm.
bright. If you don't kind of shield a little bit from the lighting, there can be a glare. And the youngins probably don't have that problem, but us older ones with our vision issues, for me, I have that star bright thing going on. But I just wore my cap, and it kept the lights out of my eyes. And the other thing is they have taken time, and all 12 courts or an outdoor surface that they actually put down themselves and painted, with plans, I think, in the future of doing the whole facility like that. Right now it's pretty much just the courts, but it's not just tape or lines down on cement, which is always slick and skiddy. So
Mhm.
you're playing on an outdoor court in an indoor facility. They can be open at any time, rain, snow, sleet, or shine. So I've been over there a couple of times, and I know all of us are going to try to support them as much as possible. They've really taken a step that a lot of people sat around and talked about, but these guys had the gumption to, hey, step out there and try to do something about it. And I think it's going to be a good money making thing down the road once they get up and going.
Yeah, I agree with all the points that you guys have mentioned. The black walls really made it easy to see the ball. We've recently played in a couple of indoor venues for tournaments, and I find the walls and everything in there very distracting to track a ball. This was so easy to track a ball, and you've got an outdoor surface, and like Jeff said, that lighting was top notch. There was not a dark spot really in the facility. So those are the things you kind of, it makes you almost feel like you're playing outdoors, indoors. And we played it was a cooler night in early December. So they had some of the doors open, and it was very, very comfortable. I mean, you really didn't really break much of a sweat playing in there. And what he's done, because he, as we'll see in the video too, he doesn't have his own food or beverage license, but he had a drink truck come in, and he had a food truck came in, and they were kind of serving through a door. And so he had food and drink. So you don't have to leave halfway through the night to go off and get something to eat. I mean, he's got some quality food and alcoholic, non-alcoholic drinks if you want, that are available to you. And the surface of the court was perfect. Again, it did stop at the line. So the out of bounds lines is where the grit ended. I think it would be nice to expend that at some point, and I'm sure that they will. It's a work in progress. I mean, when we played, they had only been open for a few weeks. So it's remarkable everything they've done. It's a grassroots effort. He's got a lot of people jumping in to help him, making curtains that go around the courts to keep the balls in play, so they're not traveling from one court to the next. But I think they've got the right vision, and what they're just trying to bring pickleball to the community that you can play around the calendar, and at a reasonable price too. You can book, as we'll see in the video, there are memberships levels, or you can just come in and pay right now if you can get sign up for that night, and there's room available, because he only allows 72 people in for open play, but he'll just charge you $5, and you don't have to be a member. You just have to sign up on the website, have your own account, and as long as you make the 72 people, if not, you go onto a waiting list for that night for $5 to play for 2, 3, 4 hours. That's a bargain.
Can't beat it. And he had Thursday night football playing too. They took the effort.
He did.
Big screen TV and tables and chairs for people who were sitting down eating. One of the other things that I don't think I've ever seen before was a player's lounge, so that if you do want to kind of get away from the courts a little bit, you can go hang out in the player's lounge. And yeah, I mean, they have plans for many other events and things, and it sounds like they're going to be working a lot to attract players and just have continued growth. But it was very impressive because they did, while we were there, they did reach the 72 people, right? Yeah.
I was just going to say, they're planning different events. This show, by the time this show comes out, this event will be over. But tomorrow night, they're doing a potluck where You just bring a potluck, something to eat, and come in. I'm not sure if you have to sign up for that or not, but that's what they're doing tomorrow night. I played over there last night. They had people from, I think it's called the Stretch Zone. They had the massage tables laid out. You could go sign up. I actually went and did it, and they take you through about the guy probably had me on the table for 10 to 12 minutes, stretching my hips, calves, hamstrings, just kind of promoting their business. They actually sent me a text today if I wanted to go and get some more of it, but it was actually pretty good. After that, I did feel a looseness, which I don't stretch near enough anyway, but they're doing a lot of things to try. It's not just, hey, we're open, come play some pickleball. They're doing some different events and things to really make this place go. And I would hope that everybody would be patient with them. They're still trying to figure out certain things, tweaking certain things, which he'll explain some of that stuff in the video to make it where it's fan friendly, so to speak. I talked to Jack Rourke there last night. I said, Jack, what package did you get? He said, Jeff, I got the two a week package, whatever that is. And he said, that's perfect for me. I pay monthly and I come here 2 times a week.
And one of the nice things he has with open play is, and Vicki kind of alluded to early on, he's got a group of 3 courts and there's 1 paddle stack for those 3 courts. And as you finish, you slide over so that the same court becomes the open court. And as you move down, when you exit, there's one way to exit and one way to enter. So he's also got the early courts when you walk in, 2530. Then he's got a group of 3035, and in the back he's got 4 courts for 40 plus. So that's 10, and 2 extra courts are the challenge courts. And any pair of people can put their paddles up there. And when you win, you kind of hold the court until you finally lose. So it's a nice concept with the different level groups and the challenge court. So I like the way they have it laid out at this point.
So they have 12 courts.
12
And
courts.
is it maxed out? Is there room for more, or is that it?
That's pretty much maxed out because of the player lounge area on one side. That takes a little bit of the court. He had to turn the courts. There was only 2 courts on one side, and they're back to back, butted up against because of the player lounge area, and where he has the big screen TV and everything. So that's pretty much maxed.
Yeah.
But any other comments, guys, before we go to the video?
No, I mean, we asked about tournaments, and it does sound like that will be a possibility there as well. Think that they were already a backup just in case a tournament in the area has a little rain out, which could be really nice for that area. There's a lot of Baton Rouge tournaments, so it could be nice to have that facility as a backup for bad weather. So very impressed though, and they're such nice young gentlemen and very, very friendly. Throughout the night, it looked like they were doing such a great job at greeting people, explaining the process to people. They walked around and talked to everybody. I think they did a great job. They really did. I was very impressed.
Yeah. Well, good. That's a good segue. So we got a chance, and Vicki and Jeff kind of led the interview, and we took a tour of the facility. And so, Bud, if you've got that, here's an interview with Bevo and Josh Wynn at Stacks in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Ready?
Yeah. Hey, Bud, it's Vicki here. I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at Stacks, and I'm here with the owners, Bevo and Josh, and we're here at their new facility and can't wait to hear all about it. Evidently, this was a studio before, is that correct?
Yeah, it was actually a movie studio. We're on Celtic Studios, their campus. So this is just one of about 8 stages.
Yep.
All of them pretty big, ranging from a size of 20,000 square feet to 30. We're in a 30 here, plenty of room for pickleball. And the sound should sound really good because it's a soundproof stage. When people are playing pickleball tonight, you'll notice it tonight. The ball noise doesn't carry.
Wow.
So you can have a conversation like this. They're playing pickleball like a foot away from you. You can still talk without yelling. There's not booming pickleball sounds everywhere.
That's
it's really
great.
cool. It's unique.
That's awesome. So tell us about how how this came about. Like, how did the idea happen? Was it, based on the need, or you guys were familiar with the facility and knew this might be a great place for pickleball?
I tell everyone we are pickleball players first, right? We're in the Baton Rouge community. We've played all the parks, Greenwood, Highland, any place where they'll let us put up a net. We've played pickleball there in Baton Rouge. A lot of frustration because there's not enough places to play, So we've always talked and murmured like, hey, like, what if we build some courts? And then the issue came up, well, it gets too hot, it's too wet, it's too cold, or whatever like that. What if we did indoor? Like, we're seeing it all over the nation. They're doing indoor pickleball. And we just kept talking about it and finding opportunities. And then I met Josh and Louis, our other partner, and we just started developing ideas like, hey, what if we worked together and actually made a business out of this? It must have been about 3 months before we actually signed the contract.
That's right, before we signed it. And it's really funny because it started off kind of like a joke.
Yeah.
It's like, what if there was somewhere that was indoor that we could play?
Yeah.
And then we ended up working through the logistics and we're like, okay, maybe we can make this work.
Yeah.
Our dream is coming to a reality now, which is pretty awesome.
Right. And so the opportunity came up for this place, or did you guys have to search out for it and it was available? Both. Okay.
Both, because we knew that real estate is tough in Baton Rouge, right? It's a big city. It's hard to find a place that is affordable enough to just play pickleball here. But we found some opportunities. My wife over there, our other business partner, Lauren, she saw potential opportunity with Celtic because they were on a writer's strike. So she knew these stages were empty, right? So there's no one here anyways. She was like, why don't we go out and talk to them? And the negotiations took a while. So we weren't just looking here. We were looking at other places in Baton Rouge, talking to a lot of real estate people. But then, we got a lot of no's. We got just enough yeses to get into this place and start. And we've been cooking ever since.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, tell us too, since its inception and since you signed, how long did it take and how much work did it take to sort of transition this to a pickleball facility?
Oof, well, that was a hard story.
It took about a month to be able to prepare it, to surface the courts. And, well, first of all, we had to prep the concrete and clean it and then surface the facility and then get it to where it's looking like it is now.
You want to go walk on the court?
Yeah, when we first started off, we started off with only 6 courts.
Okay.
And then we started building more. And then by our soft opening, how many did we have, B? We
8.
probably had 8 courts by our soft opening. And we decided maybe we want to hang out with our kids.
It's indoor pickleball, but this is an outdoor surface.
Yeah, we started to build
I can feel it. I can feel the difference in that. So this is an outdoor surface, even though it's indoors.
Yeah.
And this took a lot of work to get it like it is.
A lot of problems to solve. Luckily, I had engineers on my team and problem solvers. We at first we were like, what if we just painted lines on the surface and played? And then we thought about it. We tried it, and we were like, this won't work for a lot of people because it's skid.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and if
slippery.
the ball hits those lines, it goes everywhere.
It might be okay if you're just playing around, but if you want to compete and you want to play serious pickleball, like, you need a serious surface.
Absolutely.
So that was one of the things that we decided early on was like, if this is going to work, we need to give people a quality playing experience. So we got our hands and knees and measured out some courts. I make it sound really easy, but it was a lot of work.
It is.
It was a lot of work and a lot of help too. The community really pulled in. A lot of our friends came. They helped paint these courts and these lines. It wasn't just us, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people in the pickleball community that are our close friends came to basically just help us out. And so
that's pickleball. That's what we love about it. That's pickleball. Yes,
really
it's a big community. Yes.
And that was one of the reasons why we wanted to start this business in the first place, because I played tennis for 30 years. I high level competitor. I play a lot of tennis. I played pickleball for 1 year. I've met more friends in this 1 year than I have 30 years of playing tennis.
Don't we all say that? It's true.
Really, really close friends. And I'm in these communities I never would have met any other way. People all different, ages, races, walks of life. It doesn't matter. Like Josh, this past weekend, you played doubles, mixed doubles tournament with Miss Carol Lee.
Carol Lee,
She's like,
that's right.
Yeah.
I've never played pickleball with her before, ever. But we had a blast. And she said she had a good time. I tried not to carry her down too.
Oh no,
they got her on the podium.
I tried to help out a little bit.
Yeah,
she's really good.
She's super nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a great time with her.
Right.
Yes.
And different ages, and they probably would have met any other way. And then now here they are standing up on top of our podium with a silver medal.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
It's so much fun. So
it is.
That was what really got us like, guys, like, we need to keep this community going. The complaint in Baton Rouge is there's not enough courts, or it's raining, or it's hot. Like, how do we solve that, and how do we build this community that's so loving and embracing, and that's so much fun. It's good for the city.
Absolutely.
And so that's why we were pushing for it. You know, made a lot of sacrifices, but got a lot of help from the community, like Josh was saying, to get us this far. And you know, this is just the start. This is our 4th week operating.
So tell us, so you definitely went from 6 to 8, but how many courts do you have now, and is that where you'll be?
Well, we can't fit any more courts. We have 12 courts.
Okay.
That's max capacity.
And
That is plenty of courts for medium to large size tournaments. This past weekend, we had 120 participants in our grand opening tournament. We only used 8 to 10 courts the whole weekend. Like two courts were just warm-up courts, and we blocked them off, and we just had chairs there. People sat down and had a good old time.
That's great.
Yeah. And the thing with indoor courts for tournaments is that it runs so smoothly.
It does.
There's no weather, but also everyone's already here. It's easy to get people. People don't wander too far. So running tournaments, running events, it's so smooth when it's indoor pickleball.
Right.
It's great.
So tell us too, do you plan to host more tournaments? I know you kind of mentioned there's a maybe happening soon, but do you plan on building with that? Is that something that you look forward to, is hosting more tournaments?
Yeah, more tournaments for sure in the future. This one we had 2 weeks to plan. We did not put any marketing out on our grand opening tournament for 2 weeks. So we learned from that, and we said, hey, what if we had a month and a half? You know, how big can we get this?
You had 100-something.
120 players.
Yep.
And we had sponsors from Selkirk to our bankers, Gulf Coast Bank. They sponsored us. Several restaurants, Sunbelt, all these great people that just move so fast with us. I mean, our entire business has been moving fast. Like day one, as soon as they let us in, we were painting courts, and then 60 days later, we're hosting our big first tournament.
Wow.
It's unbelievable, but not possible without the help of the community.
Right. That's pretty incredible.
So yeah, we're going to host more events, more tournaments. And I come from a background in tennis where I realized that there's more ways to consume pickleball or tennis than just tournaments. So with our tournament, we threw a mixer, right? It was just a social pickleball mixer. We have our, we call it the Tipsy Caboose, right? It's someone else that runs their business, but they sell alcohol out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, and they'll be coming here later. You'll see it. We got food trucks coming out that night. More people stood around and didn't play pickleball for more than I've ever seen. They just wanted to hit drinks. They wanted to have a good time. They wanted to laugh with people watching pickleball, and plenty of other people playing too.
Right.
But it was so much fun. It's a different event that we can do because we have the space and we have the creativity to try some of these new events that haven't been done before in Baton Rouge.
Right.
Or in the pickleball space specifically.
So meeting that need, what available days and hours? Is it open play? Do you have to make a reservation? Do you have to be a member? Can you tell us a little bit about all that?
Yeah. So our idea with Stacks is that you don't need to be a member. We don't want to be like a country club. We want anyone who wants to play pickleball to walk in through the doors and get playing. But we also want it to be organized. We don't want to just be a public facility where so many people show up that you have to wait too long to play. The happy median was you need an account to play with us. You need to reserve if it's an open play. If you come and there's spots open, we'll get you signed up, but you do need to give us a player account. That's free, right?
Okay.
You don't pay anything for a player account. That's free. Our paid memberships, you get X amount of open plays for free for that week. So for instance, we have a $65 membership that gives you 4 open plays per week. And then it starts over the next week. You play another 4 open plays and you get discounts on court reservations.
And is that $65 per month?
Per month.
To be clear. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we also have another tier where it's the $40 tier. Let's say you only want to play twice a week, right? You come, play twice a week, restarts the next week, $40 a month. And then
great.
if you're a hardcore,
reservations for that as well. Yeah.
Hardcore, we have a $100 membership, unlimited open play, and 50% off of court reservations. So we just want y'all coming in and playing pickleball. If people help give us lights on, that's what we want.
And that's probably a work in progress to see what y'all are going to do there as far as trying to figure out what fits best to get people in here. Because I don't know this yet, but they have a ladies' night.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I'm glad you're mentioning that. We'll have to get a group together and come.
Are testing that out.
Yep.
On ladies' night, I'm going to let you tell.
Yeah.
Even guys can come and play, but there's certain courts reserved for the ladies.
Okay.
Ladies' night is we call it a special event, which means it's not like open play, it's facilitated. So whenever we have a facilitated play, right, it's separate from open play. Open play, players facilitate themselves. I'll help make suggestions like this level players play here, but it's kind of like you show up to a park, you figure it out together. Our ladies' night is facilitated by our coach, Holly Smith. Y'all probably know Holly.
Right.
She facilitates. She'll help the beginners on one side. She'll do matchmaking. Ladies only all this half of the facility. This other half, since we have space, regular open play. For some reason, a lot more guys sign up for open play on ladies' night.
What a surprise!
And these ladies that have never played pickleball before, we're pulling in like these high-level volleyball players, and it gives them a chance to kind of play pickleball without the pressure of, you know, dealing with some of the stuff with more focus, and it's facilitated. They have a great time, and then a couple weeks later, we see them in open play.
Right.
Or some people, they feel more comfortable playing with just ladies. They stay there. So we're able to position ourselves to try these different events and programs because, you know, we're creative and we're strategic. So we want to get everyone in here and make programs that allow people a chance to do that. Whereas open play, if you're pickleball player, no open play.
Right.
You know, but if you're a beginner, you need a beginner class.
Absolutely.
So we have beginner classes. If you're a lady and ladies night.
Right.
A lot of our events and programs are modeled towards reaching out and being inclusive. So with the infrastructure right now, before Stacks, there wasn't really enough space and volume where people could go play. It was kind of intimidating going to Highland and going to play or whatever, any place to go play pickleball. But now, I mean, we want to make it so that way when you first walk in here, you're not intimidated to play. There's a lot of room for you to play. Yeah. You can just hit around with a friend.
Find your spot.
Yeah,
that's right.
Find your spot.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
So also, I'm sure y'all have thought about this, and I'm going to get you to tell us about it. So there may be some slow times in the mornings, and a lot of people like to play pickleball in the morning.
Yeah.
So you got some packages there for the morning crew.
What we call them, that open play runs from 8 a.m. to 10:30. I call them our early birds, right? I cut the price down as low as I could for open because I just want people coming and playing. A lot of them are seniors. They're retired. We don't know about their income, but we listen to what they had, their input.
That's so nice.
$5, the whole open play. And then at lunch break, so starting at 11, it's called my lunch break. That's when we do another open play between 11 to 1:30. People can take their lunch break, play a little pickleball, go back to work.
Oh, that's great.
If they want to stay here, we have very high-speed internet. They stay in one of our lounges, work, come out, play some more.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great.
So that's how we're filling it in. And also, our clinics run, right? Coach Holly Smith, Cindy.
I was going to ask you about your clinics and lessons for beginners. So
are the guys that are running these clinics throughout the day. And they fill them up with people who are looking to improve their game or just starting out. It's fantastic to see. Like today, we were very, very busy in the morning. It was good to see that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's terrific. So you'll have classes for beginners, intermediate, advanced. They'll do some clinics
That's
for
the best thing with our
doubles.
coaches. They are high-level players.
They are.
And more importantly, they're high-level instructors. So they can instruct all levels. It's great to have them. And Holly was when they came with ladies night too. She was like, "Hey, I want more ladies to play in Baton Rouge."
That's great.
So let's start ladies night. Like, of course.
I think that's wonderful. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we love this concept. We love it that you have the association with them.
Yes.
And I know as a group, we all can highly rate them and have a lot of confidence in what they can do to help you guys out.
You mentioned the three of them. Is there a fourth, or is that your three pickleball pros?
That's three for now. We're onboarding a newer coach, Tim Spinoza. He's more geared towards our beginners, but also has a great background in physical education and very personable, very good coach with beginners and stuff. So he'll also be coaching here. The other three were just the first one I reached out to. But for now, those are our four coaches, or three and almost four. We're sticking with them for a while. They're doing a great job, and we'll see what happens. When you get busy,
you might be talking to your friend yourself.
And that's great.
Yes,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We all three.
Yes, we're all certified.
That's awesome.
So
They got their hands full. And
y'all come by and maybe do some pop-up clinics. I got to clear with the coaches. I'm not promising anything, but
yes, absolutely. Anytime. We work on the wife-husband team aspect of it and how to stay together and not hurt each other while you're playing.
One of the other, right. I need y'all.
Look, he's like serious.
No, I need y'all to come Saturday night because we're hosting a date night. Yeah. We want couples to come.
Absolutely.
And if they're beginners, like I facilitate it, right? It's not open play. It's for couples.
Right.
You come in, I'll teach you how to play. And then we'll mix it up, have a good old time, mix it up guys versus girls, and then switch to different partners and stuff like that. So that's another silly event that we do. But with coaches, we can help facilitate that and have them be more involved within that community.
Right.
So having the coaches around is amazing. We love it. And then they stay for open play too. They'll run a clinic, And they'll be
That's
like, I'm
right.
just going to say and play. And we love it when we see our kids play.
Absolutely. And
So
that's
much
the
fun.
best confidence that people can have in them
right.
too, that they're willing to
That's
do that.
awesome, though, what he just said, because every one of us, and I'm speaking for y'all, I don't know y'all, I know them really well. When you first hear about pickleball, it's like, what the heck is that?
Right.
But then when you go, I'm not saying everybody, but probably 90% of the people that go for the first time, they're just hooked.
Yeah, that's right.
So that concept of trying to get, hey, I can
Give
just see
them a
couple,
reason to come. Give them a reason.
Oh, no
hey,
doubt.
let's go try this. We
Yeah.
heard about a new sport.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I'm not saying you're going to hook them all, but I bet you're going to hook a bunch of them.
That's the idea. I think that the growth of pickleball is determined by how many new players we get in to experience it. That's the hardest to live.
That's
Once
very
you get
true.
them in here and playing, they have a good time. They become regulars easily.
That's right.
So what our focus is, beyond making our current members happy, is our outreach programs. How do we have different programs to pull people in here to try pickleball for whatever reason?
That's right.
Whether it's a free beginner class, ladies' night, date night, whatever.
Family days.
Family days.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be a place where junior pickleball starts in Baton Rouge. They've been trying it, but they're fighting over courts with the adults.
Right.
You
right.
know?
Right.
But now
And of course.
we have the courts, we have the infrastructure, we have the coaches who are willing.
That's right.
So 2024,
I love hearing that.
junior pickleball is
I'm all
happening.
about junior pickleball, so I love
believe
that. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of places where when the teenagers or kids show up,
Mhm.
people are aggravated because it is
that's
too
right.
tight. There's
Yeah.
not enough courts.
Right.
Yeah.
So
No
y'all help them
doubt.
relieve that pressure. And
That's
How
right.
about I show you the layout of the courts and how we strategically position the courts in order to separate it so we can run multiple events at the same time. Multiple programs,
Absolutely.
right? So we're calling Elizabeth. Hey, Elizabeth, do your thing. Yeah, you just go on and play. I'll wait. You're good. You're good. Are you saying for open play too?
Good, how are you?
So we call this giant thing our Great Divide.
Okay.
We wanted easy access to all the courts, but we also, didn't want it to where you can just enter courts at any place.
Right.
So we strategically made this Great Divide and made it easy for people to come in through the courts, but just one way.
One way only.
Right.
Gotcha.
The way open play works, it's once these courts fill up, that court, if one of the courts end, they come out, they fill in, right? You move down a court, and then they cycle in like this, right?
Oh,
Very
okay,
efficient for open play.
okay.
We get a lot of gains, not a lot of waiting. Same thing on this side.
Same thing. So
Yep.
you'd move out. So Jeff, he's saying you'd move from one court to the other with open play,
Yeah.
so that you're
When it
moving
gets
in a
really
direction.
busy, these benches, just like pickleball communities understand how benches work, they know if they see a bench, they put a paddle there.
Right.
If you're new, you sit down, I ask you to get off my bench, because that's where my paddle is.
whatever court comes open.
That's right. And now look,
slide on.
these courts change orientations.
Yes.
So now it's almost like you're in a new part of the facility, right? These go this way now,
Right.
and they're sectioned off from those three.
Right.
So like this morning, I had open play here, and then Sydney ran a clinic right here, right? I changed the
okay.
orientation. It feels like a different part while being concise within our building.
Right.
Here, we separated two courts that are oriented this way. At tournaments, these are our show courts.
Right.
You have big benches here. You can watch people play.
Players lounge, they have
Yep.
benches right there. Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
spot for a final match right
Correct.
here, because it's by itself.
Yeah, all the extra space. And then,
Carol and I played.
Yeah.
We lost.
Final
Yeah.
match.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're
These are our
very
center
good.
courts.
Yes.
And then another two courts here. So if there was a private event, we can section these four off without having courts right next to the open play, right? So
Right.
we strategically position these courts in their orientation in order to facilitate different events at the same time. And then on nights like tonight, everything's going to be open play, and that's fine too. So these benches, you stack paddles here. You say, hey, these are for these four courts. Those benches over there for those three courts, and then we separate by level. When people come in,
levels.
that's right. When they ask me, they're like,
That's
what are the
nice,
levels?
too.
Well,
That's-
it's self-facilitating, but shallow in over there, deep in over here. The deeper you go, the higher the level is. Very easy. I tell them that, they understand. And so they fit in with their crew. That's how it works. And we have so many courts that for open play, we'll designate one or both of these are challenge courts. The high-level players that want to play and stay on and something a little more at stake, challenge courts for open play. Easy.
Very nice.
Yeah, and then private court reservations, easy. Like, you're separated from the craziness of the open play over there.
Right.
So we were very strategic in doing all this, and then tonight we're starting to gear up. There's people I need to check in soon. But yeah, everything is rolling,
Okay,
and
so
y'all
I
are
want
about
to
to
know
see
where
it.
the drop-down screen is, so we can watch. pro matches while we play.
Well, so does Jeff, Jeff.
There it is, right there. I
Yeah.
knew there had to be one.
Yeah, we're gonna cast Thursday night football in there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great.
You might
That's a great
sacrifice this court
idea.
for some seats, but
But, you know,
11
when you got
still.
12 courts,
pretty
you
good.
have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
That's right. No doubt. No
Right.
doubt. Well,
And
guys,
since none of this is permanent, we can just move that net easily
right.
to the side. I put some chairs and put some tables. Now people are sitting. They're getting a drink at our bar, and then they're watching Thursday night football.
Very, very nice. Yes. Well,
I-
thank you guys
Yeah.
so very much. We really do appreciate your time. We appreciate the tour. And we can't wait for our viewers to see this. There's been a lot of
Yeah.
questions about your facility. So now
Yeah.
we'll have some really good, clear answers
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
them. We really do appreciate it.
I love it. Thank you for your time, and
Thanks.
come out and play with us, guys.
Yeah,
It's
Thank
We're
you so
excited to
much.
see
We're
how
open.
this goes for y'all.
Yeah.
It's been needed for way too long.
That's
Way too
right.
long.
That's right.
That's right.
As a player, I was itching for it, and at some point, I just said, I need to stop itching and just do something.
Well,
Right.
kudos
You know?
to you.
That's
for-
right.
Yeah.
A lot
Pats
of
on the
people have
back
talked
because
about it,
that's a
but
big
y'all said,
step.
Hey, we're going to step out there and
Yeah.
give her a
That's
try.
right. It's a big
So,
step.
Yeah. I love when
Jesus.
people walk in and they say, oh, I thought about this for so long, and then me and Josh kind of snicker and
We're
well,
well,
we
And you guys did it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, it's awesome. Well, Bud, we just had a great visit here, and it's back to you, back to the studio.
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a great interview, Ken. And also, didn't you get to walk around and take a little bit of some video of the play?
I did, but we've got a couple of stills and a video of just me kind of walking around once they opened it up for open play and just showing people playing on the court. So we can go ahead and roll that whenever you want.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that.
All right, here we are at Stacks Pickleball in Baton Rouge. It's about 7:30 on a Thursday night, and the 12 courts are packed. So the way it works here is for these 3 courts, you got a stacking table, and as the game ends, everybody slides one court toward the wall. So you always open up this court for play, and those that have their paddle stacked will go on this court. Now this court's a challenge court. Jeff and I were just on it, and we played a few games. There's Jeff there. So the first 6 courts are kind of going east-west, and the rest of the courts here are going north-south. And again, these 4 courts have a paddle stacker. It's located right here for these 4 courts. There's some of our friends from the AP. This is also a challenge court here, but they have it closed tonight because they have Monday Night Football. And finally, this is the challenge court. So you win, you stay. I think it's up to 3 games before you give up the court. All right, we're here. The pickleball crew's here at Stacks Pickleball in Baton Rouge at the Stage 4, the old Stage 4 building here.
All right, that was a good view of people playing and some good stills of the beer truck and just you got to see the layout of the complex and what it looked like indoors. I'll tell you, indoor facilities, because we've heard about one opening in the Mandeville Covington area. You've got the Exchange now in New Orleans. You now have Stacks in Baton Rouge. There is the Atlantic South Diamond Regional Tournament in January is taking place in an old, is it Kohl's department store, where they have 16 courts on the first floor, 16 on the second floor. So the trend is we're going to see more and more of these indoor facilities. And what it allows is it allows play 365 days a year that you don't have to worry about a rain out or it gets really cold. And look at the summer we had here this past year, it was hard to play in July, August, and September. So is this really the future of pickleball, where we're going to see more indoor play than outdoor play down the line? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I really, of all the places we play indoors in this area, I would rather play outdoors, even in the heat. So for me to latch on to an indoor facility, it's going to have all of the things that you pretty much alluded to that Stacks have. It's got to have good lighting. It's got to have a decent surface. That's the biggest thing. And the second thing is, my biggest problem indoor play is seeing the ball. Most places play with that orange ball, and it just kind of blends into whatever the walls are around those gyms. And I don't like it. I mean, I play once a week at Fritchie Park, and I just don't like the lighting. I don't enjoy it at all. So it sounds to me like Stacks has got the right idea. And if people latch onto that concept, then I think there's a good future in indoor play.
That's right. I mean, it's a matter of doing it the right way. And this, let's hope this does evolve over time, because I'm like you, Bud. I struggle so badly, but it's lighting is a big deal, the glare. But the other thing for me is the sound. And that's what was so impressive about Stacks, was that we hung out, we played, and I didn't have a problem. And I couldn't believe it, because most of the time I do get to a point where I just have to stop and take a break from the noise level and everything. So this was amazing. And they did say that if they expanded at any point or had to go to a different location, that was a must for them. There were a few musts that they had already learned about, and that was one of them. And so, yeah, I hope that sort of sets the bar somewhere, and that people who are developing these facilities, not just throw them together. And like Ken, you said earlier, not just tape on slick cement with temporary nets is another thing, the floppy temporary nets. There's just a lot that doesn't make it so much fun. And I think I'll always be an outdoors player, but with a facility like that, it's definitely easier for me and much more inviting. I would definitely go back anytime to that place.
Yeah, I'm an outdoor player too, but that's the kind of facility that makes me go, maybe if that was within about 30 minutes of me, I would probably join on one of the smaller packages to play there a couple days a week. And you could pick the bad weather days to play, or whatever it is, but that would definitely be in my rotation if I was just a little bit closer than an hour each way. So, but
That's right.
I love it. I love them. Great job. And thanks for giving us a tour. We really liked it. So,
and what's nice about the one in New Orleans is that there's a lot of natural light that comes in. I know it's different because you've got the dark walls and everything else, and that really, really helps out. But I also think there's something to be said too about like the garage doors that open up at certain times of the day or whatever, that you get all that natural light coming in too. And again, with an outdoor surface, you're covered, but you still feel a little bit like you're playing outdoors.
Okay, I guess that about wraps it up for our tour of Stacks. And again, we appreciate the visit and the tour.
All right, great discussion, guys. And now it's time for Jeff and his Burr Under His Saddle.
You're burr under my saddle, you're a thorn sticking in my side.
All right, people. I'm going to have to put my glasses on this week because I really want to get this point across to people. I see people focusing a lot on dinking. You hear people talk about in drills, dink a good bit. And then how many times, I'm sure y'all have heard this, they say, man, we warm up and we're dinking, and then we get in the game and there's no dinking. And they're absolutely right, but they're perplexed at why this doesn't happen. Well, I'm here to tell y'all today why this doesn't happen. There needs to be as much or more focus on when you're serving. I don't care how you do it, what vehicle you use to get to the net, but if you're not good at third shot drop, third shot drive, fifth shot drop, or the drip drop that we talked about, If you cannot get in that vehicle and get yourself to the net, there's going to be not much dinking. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, yeah, dinking's important, because once you get there, you have to be able to dink to win points, to move people around, get them to pop up where you can get a finish. But if you can't get there, to me, the vehicle to get there, the transition zone and all of that is even more important, because if you can't get there, you can't dink. So people, stop wondering why there's no dinking. There's no dinking because y'all are not working on transition stuff. God, that sounded rough. So I'm saying that, y'all, but that's something that we're all working on in Vicki's drills. We're working on trying focus on how many times during a game you're able on your serve to get to the net. If you focus on that and up that percentage, you will start seeing more dink battles in your games. And that's this week's Burr Under My Saddle.
Thank you, Jeff. That's a good one. I fully understand that one. All right.
A lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't. And now,
Hey, Bud, I've got a shout out. All righty, Bud. Got 2 shout outs here, and one of them is to Bevo and Josh for being such great hosts. They made us feel very comfortable, and really we're excited about us being there doing the video and the interview. But bigger reason why I want to give them a shout out is, again, because of their mission and their goal of just supporting the pickleball community in that area. They love the pickleball community. They talked very highly about it. And, you know, it's just nice to see them jump in and do something for everyone else. My other shout out is to all of the others who helped Bevo and Josh get started. Evidently, there was a group of volunteers who went in to help clean the floors. And these are volunteers from the pickleball community. They said, come in and help clean and strip the floors. They also helped paint the floors, put up nets, and they did everything they could to help them get up and get running. And that was really refreshing to hear about as well. We don't know who you are, but whoever you are, we appreciate your support for the pickleball community as well, and for the growth of the sport. So thank you all. And Bud, I understand you have a shout out today.
yes, I do. I don't know if you've all noticed, but we're all in uniform tonight. We just got our official pickleball crew gear, and I want to give a shout out to Ryan Higgins with RD Graphics and Apparel, who really stepped up and got this to us really quickly. I want everybody to know that we're going to be working on a website, and hopefully we'll be able to offer this type of apparel to our listeners. So thanks, Ryan. Thanks for all you did, and thanks for getting us that merchandise to us. All right, good shout outs. And now it's hot off the press. It's time for Ken's tournament previews.
Thanks, Bud. Let's talk about pickleball tournament preview 2024. The first tournament we'll talk about is the Pickle Picola. This is January 12th through 14th in Pensacola. It's the University of West Florida. There's 24 courts. You'll have singles on Friday, men's, women's doubles on Saturday, and mixed on Sunday. Registration ends January 7th, I believe. There's already 77 players registered. Go to pickleballbrackets.com to register. The same weekend is the Smoke and Stroke. This is at the Exchange in New Orleans. We'll put information, email address, email Terry at exchangenola.com, and we'll put a phone number. So this will be a one-day tournament at the Exchange. 2 weekends later, January 27th, it's the Checkmate tournament at the W.O. Lott Park. This is a fundraiser for the Bayside Academy chess team. It's one-day tournament, mixed doubles only. It's $30 a person. Go to pickleballbrackets.com to register. Let's go to February. February 2nd through 4th is the Winter Pickleball Blast at Mooney Park in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. There's singles, mixed doubles, and gender doubles. We'll put the URL for that at the bottom of the screen. That again will be February 2nd through 4th. February 13th through 15th, this is the Pickle Gras Jamboree. Scott Korth is the tournament director. There's almost 40 people already registered for it. Go to pickleballbrackets.com. This will be a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday tournament. This will be at the Foley Event Center in Foley, Alabama. February 23rd through 25th at the Canebrake Country Club in Hattiesburg. There'll be a tournament that weekend. From what I understand, this is a beautiful country club. And they just opened early this year, dedicated pickleball courts where the tournament will be held. Go to pickleballbrackets.com to register for that. February 27th through March 3rd, paddles at the Plex. This is at Opelika, Alabama. There's already 74 players registered. If you have not been to Opelika, there's 24 outdoor covered courts, outdoor surface. This is a great venue to play. There's also a facility there with locker rooms, showers, a swimming pool. So you've got kind of use of everything for the weekend. Opelika, Alabama, and go to pickleballbrackets.com to register. In March 15th through 17th, this is the Mississippi Senior Games at Pops Ferry in Biloxi, Mississippi. So this is now a qualifying year for nationals. National Senior Games will be held in Des Moines, Iowa in the summer of 25. So this is the first chance for a South Louisiana, South Alabama, South Mississippi person to qualify. So the first choice here is the Mississippi Senior Games. Again, it's at Pops Ferry. Go to pickleballbrackets.com to register. The same weekend, March 16th, 17th, is the paddles on St. Patty's Day. This will be at Pelican Park in Mandeville. You go to the Pelican Park website to register. The registration has not yet opened, but we'll let you know as soon as it does. It's always a fun tournament, and they usually pull in over 200 people into their tournaments there. March 22nd through 24th is the Pickle in the Dell. This will be at Crossgates Country Club. Last year they advertised it on pickleballbrackets.com. We anticipated being advertised there as well. Registration, as far as we know, has not opened yet. March 29th and 30th is the Alabama Open in Clay, Alabama. Go to pickleballbrackets.com to register for that as well. Moving to April 12th through 14th is the Hattiesburg Pickleball Classic at Tatum Park. Marlena Martis is your tournament director. It's going to be in Hattiesburg, Mississippi at Tatum Park. There's already 66 people registered. This is a fundraiser for the Young Life Organization and the USM Wesley Foundation. Friday night will be open play. Saturday will be gender doubles. The Sunday will be mixed doubles. The same weekend, April 12th through 14th, is the Alabama Senior Games. This will be at Opelika, Alabama. Register on pickleballbrackets.com. This will be your second attempt to register, at least in the local regional area, to qualify for the Senior Games in 2025 Nationals. Moving on, I just noticed it was just listed August 8th through 11th, 2024. It's the second annual NOLA Pickle Fest. This will be at the Moriel Convention Center. There's already 24 players registered. It looks like it's the same format. I briefly read some of the details. You'll probably play your bracket half on Thursday, half on Saturday, or half on Friday, half on Sunday, with a lot of the championship matches being held on Sunday. They're going to use the pickle roll courts, no charge to go in and watch. And last year there were several open courts always available, so you could court hop and play a game and then just enjoy the venue. Bring your paddle and come and watch some good pickleball. And again, that's going to be advertised on pickleballbrackets.com, the second annual NOLA Pickle Fest. Moving to October, this is your third chance regionally. October 4th through 6th is the Louisiana Senior Games. Again, because it's a qualifying year, you'll have singles, gender doubles, and mixed doubles. This will be at the Legacy in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, October 4th through 6th. Finally, October 25th through 27th is the Hollow Wheel Pickleball Tournament, and that'll be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And that's it for tournament preview, Bud. Back to you.
All right, Ken, thanks for those updates. I think that's just about it for the night. I do want to say, and we haven't said that, we've really enjoyed about the last 6 months, looking forward to the new year, but we want to wish all of our subscribers out there, all of our viewers, a happy new year. I know it's been a good year for us. I've really enjoyed doing this. I enjoy the crew. We have a good time. So unless anybody's got anything else, it's time to say goodnight. Good night, y'all. Hey, from the Pickleball crew, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Well, that's it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave any comments, and please like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks again, and see you next week.